A black family moves into a small white town.
Hello, is someone in there?
And strange things start happening on their farm.
Their animals have been mutilated and their property has been vandalized.
We don't want to become a hashtag.
They say they called police dozens of times to report their racist neighbors, but instead police flipped the script and put them in handcuffs instead.
Farming while black in America.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. It's been 2 years of hell for Courtney and Nicole Mallery. They're black farmers who lost everything after Hurricane Harvey, but in 2020, they relocated to Yoder, Colorado. It's a small rural town. It's about 40 minutes away from Colorado Springs. Their ranch, the Freedom Acres Ranch, it sits on hundreds of acres and was abandoned before the Mallerys took it over. But since then, unusual things have been happening. Their Black Lives Matter sign was burned, their animals poisoned and killed, and when they started to approach their neighbors about it and got police involved, they say police then went after them and put them in jail. This wasn't normal. Morning after morning, the Mallery family would wake up to their cows gutted, goats killed, their dog poisoned with antifreeze, random unmarked vehicles blocking the entranceway leading up to their private ranch.
We don't want to become a hashtag.
Nicole Mallery told Fox Colorado that her white neighbors began making private hate groups on social media about them.
Lynching us, bringing a lynching mob, having a public hanging, fire. They wanted to lock us in and set us ablaze.
One user wrote, quote, "Are there any restrictions on size of pitchforks or fire sticks in Colorado?" Asking for a friend. And quote, "I was amazed how much property was tagged as Black Lives Matter. Didn't expect that kind of in-your-face crap way out here."
Whether it's Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, we're always villainized. And that's the same thing that's happened with this family.
It dates back to a years-long dispute that the Mallerys have with their neighbor, Teresa Clark. She's in her 40s and lives with her elderly mother. They also share an easeway with the Mallerys, almost like a narrow road that leads up to their homes. In this affidavit, Clark allegedly gave police photos and videos of the Mallerys' quote, "unusual and disturbing behavior." She told police that the Mallerys would yell things at her like, quote, "hands up, don't shoot," and the couple would also come out to the road to spy on her when she is leaving or coming back to her property. She also claims that the Mallerys drove by her property 6 times in one day after she left for work, and they installed several security cameras across the street from the Clark's property with, quote, "unobstructed views of her home." The Shade Room dug into these claims and learned that the Mallerys did in fact install the cameras, but the cameras sit on their property.
And I believe they're trying to steal our land from us because they don't believe we deserve it.
It's been a mess ever since. Both have filed restraining orders against each other over the years, but things started spiraling after police began investigating the Mallerys over stalking claims.
Hello, is someone in there?
This is body camera video of a process server hopping over a fence to serve the Mallerys legal documents. Nicole Mallery says that she was partially nude and got spooked when she saw a white man looking through her window.
Get the off my property.
Hey,
Get the
I'm
off
leaving.
right now.
I'm leaving.
Get the
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Get the out of here.
I'm leaving.
Get the out of here. You step back on my...
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I swear to God. Relax. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
According to police, she fired a gun in the air as he ran off. When deputies showed up to get her side of the story, she said he never provided identification.
I mean, I'm trying to protect myself, my animals, my property. I do want to file a complaint now that you're here. He trespassed, and I feel like he was trying to rape me at this point.
Brandishing a weapon is not necessarily against the law unless you use it in a threatening manner, such as to fire rounds off as the person's trying to flee the property.
About 2 weeks later, police secured a search warrant for the Mallery Ranch.
A risk assessment was made regarding the execution of the search warrant, and it was determined the property was to be secured by the SWAT team prior to the execution of the search warrant.
A SWAT team moved in and arrested Nicole Mallery over the incident. You can hear her screaming and crying over the handcuffs being too tight.
I told you from the beginning this too tight. I can't feel my shoulder. You better give me some medical attention now. You choked me. Oh my God.
Been complaining of shoulder.
You could also hear Nicole yell profanities, calling police pigs for how they were handling the situation. It was so bad that she had to be taken in for medical evaluation. Portia Prescott is the president of the NAACP Rocky Mountain chapter.
They brought the SWAT out. Think about that. Imagine this. You have 640 acres of land. We're not talking about you're in the East Coast. These are not brownstones. These are not, you're in the middle of Colorado. You're in a state that's less than 4% Black. And then these armed agents come to your house to serve you predicated on what one white woman said.
According to the Denver Post, Nicole Mallery did plead guilty to making a false report and got 2 years probation. The Shade Room also read through over 120 pages of documents released by the El Paso County Sheriff's Office detailing past experiences with the Mallerys, including a child abuse case where Nicole Mallery allegedly brandished a gun on a man and his son who appeared to be walking too closely to her property. The man said that they stopped to look at a snake on the side of the road.
Have responded to over 170 calls for service involving several addresses near Yoder.
The Mallerys say it's all a deflection. They claim that police are attempting to cover up the fact that they refuse to investigate their claims of racism and harassment. Now, fast forward to February 2023, deputies then refocused their investigation into the security cameras that the Mallerys installed on their property.
The investigation revealed that Nicole and Courtney Mallery had active surveillance on the Teresa Clark residence. They would routinely arrive in the area within moments to minutes of Teresa Clark going outside of her house. And Nicole and Mallery would taunt Teresa Clark from the property line.
Both Courtney and Nicole Mallery were arrested and charged for criminal stalking. They both bonded out of jail but have been speaking out at protests and rallies.
Farming is not a crime. You know, working your own land, moving about your own land is not a crime.
Since you have white community members that live in that community and they're the ones that are perpetrating and going after this family, the sheriff's department is a part of that community. And so they're going to try to protect, you know, their white community.
The case has sparked outrage on social media, people raising money and protesting to not only clear the Mallery's name, but also calling on lawmakers to pass the Karen Act, which is the law that would make racist 911 calls a hate crime. Supporters say that the Mallerys are stewards in the community. They even have a program where they teach children about agriculture. They also fed the needy during the pandemic. Now, while this stalking case plays out in court, the NAACP says they plan on pushing for federal charges in this case. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello, roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.